On the first day of companies reporting June 2021 auto sales number, we see good growth coming across all the segments. This was something on the expected lines, but what was not expected was the actual numbers reported by the company. Because on the first day itself, majority of the companies came up with numbers which were way above than what the street was working with. Just to highlight, among all the segments, the commercial vehicle segment and the farm equipment segment outperformed the rest in terms of the actual numbers versus the expectation in both of these segments. Starting with the commercial vehicle space itself, therein we see that they have three major players. Firstly is the Eicher Motors VECV, then Ashok Leyland, and then Tata Motors. Amongst these three, Eicher Motors VECV sales actually showed a bigger surprise when it came to comparing the actual numbers versus the expectation, wherein this time in the month of June, the company sales growth was seen at 99%, with the company selling 2,438 units in the month of June. Similar kind of a growth was seen in the case of Ashok Leyland, with a jump of 103% on a month-on-month basis, with the sales of 6,488. Talking about Tata Motors, this time the commercial vehicle sales was up 150% on the YY basis, and now the overall numbers of the Tata Motors showed a gain of 64% on the month-on-month basis, with the Tata Motors total domestic sales at 43,704 units. Let's have a look at the passenger vehicle segment. For the case of Tata Motors, this time the passenger vehicle sales were up 111% for the company on the YOY basis, but Maruti Suzuki number, the leader in the passenger vehicle segment, the sales were as per the expectation, with company selling 1.5 lakh of unit in the month of June. But to note, this is a jump of 217% on the month-on-month basis. M&M Auto Division sales, this actually surpassed what the street was working for. We were expecting the sales to be at 27,052 units, but the actual numbers came at 32,964 units. That's a 89% jump. And even the tractor division of M&M showed really good growth, and the numbers were way above our expectations. We were expecting 36,544 units, but the company reported 48,222 units. That's almost double from what the company sold in the previous month. That's the May month. So this was the growth in the M&M tractor division, and as I was highlighting that the farm equipment sales were really great, what the street was working with and what the actual numbers were reported by the company. Earlier in the day, like the first number of the day was of Escorts, where the company's estimate of the June sales was 10,851 units, but the company sold the highest ever in the month of June, which was at 12,533 units, with a jump of 95% on a month-on-month basis. VST Tillers, which is into power tillers and tractors, the power tiller sales was up 46% on a month-on-month basis, and the tractor sales was up 55% on a month-on-month basis. So herein we see that the rural demand is really working well, and the rural demand is recovering very fast in terms of the agricultural equipment used in those markets. Now let's have a look at the two-wheeler space. This space was expected to be a bit of the laggard when compared to the others, because the rural economy was hit badly, and the passenger vehicle preference, the personal mobility preference, was more on the passenger vehicle side. For Bajaj Auto, the sales were as per estimates, with the company selling 3.5 lakhs of unit, but this time the sales was supported by good growth in the CV and the export segment. Talking about TVS Motors, although the sales were above our expectations, we were expecting the sales to be at 2.3 lakhs of unit, but the company actually sold 2.5 lakhs of unit. That's a 51% jump. But even after this jump, this was not enough to bring some cheer in the stock, and the stock actually fell from its day's high, because these numbers were reported towards the end of today's trading session. So these were the numbers till date, till today on the first day of June 2021 auto sales number. Hero MotoCorp and Royal Enfield Eicher Motors is still waited for them to report the numbers for in the month of June. We are keenly watching for that. Stay tuned with us.